Hello my loves and welcome to a kitchen vlog. I've so many things to talk about, so I've decided to kind of do several short kitchen vlogs. So this is going to be the first one, obviously. In this one I am focusing on in particular my recent diagnosis, lifestyle change and outlook. So to start this one, I'm going to take you back to the very early part of this year, January, February. Haven't looked back at a lot of the vlogs from that time, but I know that at some point in very early New Year, I got a really bad cold and chest infection, and it would not shift to the point where I got really concerned about it, particularly the chest infection and the cough. Couldn't shift it at all, and I got really concerned about it. However, I'm not one of those men who will sit on a problem for months. I was like, nah, this has been a few weeks now, I need to do something about this. So I went to the doctor and I said, look, I do get a couple of colds a year, because I do, but I've never had a chest infection last this long before. And I reminded her that my family has a real history of lung cancer, and so like her first port of call was antibiotics. I think that's pretty much the same with any doctor. That is the first route they will try, just in case it's an infection that can be treated with antibiotics. Didn't work. So after the antibiotics, I actually got a phone call from them saying, has it worked? And I said, nope, it's helped a little bit, but I've still got the cough. So I ended up going for a scan at we have a local diagnostic centre not too far, and I went there. Mr. Sunak opened it. Anyway, so I went there, had a scan, and then I waited for the results, and then I had a call from, this panicked me a little bit, only a little bit. I had a phone call from the hospital saying, we would like to make an appointment for a telephone consultation. Dr. blah blah blah, he wasn't called blah blah blah, would like to call you and have a chat about your scan results. So I was like, right, okay. So we made the appointment, and I think the appointment was for a few days later, if I recall. And then, of course, that doctor called me and said, Paul, I am diagnosing you right now. These aren't his words, I'm paraphrasing. With COPD. And my first gut reaction, honestly, was relief. Relief that it wasn't cancer. Because, like I say, mum's been treated for it, sister's been treated for it, all lung, dad died of it. All the sisters had cancer but not lung. So yeah, relief that it was COPD. But then I started looking up COPD. COPD is a terminal illness. That's the first thing to say about it. However, people can live to their 70s, 80s, even 90s with COPD. But then the horrific parts that then they can often die in respiratory failure or sudden heart failure. It's not nice, is it? So I had been a tobacco smoker since around the age of 10. Ridiculous, I know. And the doctor who was chatting to me about the diagnosis said, everything I'm gonna discuss with you now, I'm gonna put in a letter and send you the details, because I've got like 3 fibrous things as well, like non-cancerous tumours, kind of. And you know, we're chatting away, and he said, do you smoke? And I said, yes I do. And he said, right, you need to stop. And I was smoking vegan tobacco, American Spirit for the record, but it's very strong stuff, very, very strong stuff. And Jason, my wonderful husband, said, we need to stop smoking right away. He did it before I did. We were kind of, we were both vaping semi-regularly anyway, doing a bit of both. So it was just time to switch completely to vaping, which is a stopgap measure. I am hoping that there will be a point in the future where I won't be doing anything, but the difference that I have felt from switching completely to vaping is unbelievable. And I also take this now. I take this. So, and if anybody has any chest issues or respiratory issues, and you fancy giving this a go, I will pop a link down in the first comment. It will be an affiliate link, which might make a couple of pence per sale, but it won't cost you any more. That's how affiliate links work. So, yeah, that's really good stuff. I've been on that like pretty much since I got a message on Instagram from a lovely human who said, I can recommend this. So one of the things on the letter that I got that mentioned about the 3 kind of fibroidous things, non-malignant, and said about, you know, you have COPD, and we highly recommend light exercise to kind of get your breathing going, and we recommend singing. We recommend singing. Maybe consider joining a choir. I don't need to, dear. I do plenty of singing. So yeah, it's been quite the journey. Been off tobacco now for, I think it's just over 2 months. Found it a struggle at first, but now incredibly easy, and I'm around people pretty much all the time who smoke tobacco, thankfully outdoors. So, you know, I'm not like getting second-hand smoke necessarily. But it was quite the wake-up call, COPD, because I mean, one thing I know just from the history of my family is that we are weak in the lung department. as I've mentioned, there's been a lot of lung cancer in my family, including aunties and uncles and grandmas and granddads. It seems to be, it's the biggest killer in my family, is cancer of all different kinds, but in particular lung cancer. That's the heavy one. That's the one that's there the most. So yeah, it's been it has been quite the wake-up call. It's been a real kind of lifestyle change for Jason and myself. Jason has made it incredibly, has been incredibly supportive and has helped me to find it quite easy, because we've both done the same thing. We've both cut out tobacco completely. And like I said, hopefully the vaping will, but I'm not gonna do it because I can feel the difference. I'm not choking first thing in the morning anymore. I'm rarely coughing. I can sing a lot, and I do. So it's made a huge difference just kind of stopping the tobacco. And I don't know whether I'm the first person in my family to get COPD, but maybe our lung issue has taken a turn now, and it's got, let's hope it's got bored with cancer, and it's like, right, we'll give them this instead before we give them a break. And I shall deal with it as I'm going to have to, and if it gets worse, which it undoubtedly will in time, I will make more changes and compromises and maybe do more, you know, stuff. But yeah, so that's this kitchen vlog. I've been waiting to hear Isis scratching on the back door because she is currently outside. The second I came into the kitchen to make this vlog, I heard Jason say Isis, which meant she'd come downstairs because she'd heard me and she wanted in, but thankfully she wanted out. So it was in here and out. And she's out there right now. She will scratch on the door when she's ready. I'm just going to check this through very quickly for visual and sound issues. Hopefully it's fine. Wanted to make it because I know that not everybody watches our live streams, and the live streams have been largely where we've talked about our lifestyle changes after diagnosis, yeah, so I'll leave it there. Thank you for listening. There's more coming because I've got a lot to talk about, a lot of things. So yes, I have been diagnosed with COPD. I have made, along with my lovely supportive husband, incredibly big lifestyle changes, which have been hugely beneficial. I've been advised to sing, which is like telling a clown to paint his face. It's like telling a trapeze artist to swing more. Okay, alright, if I must. Thank you for joining me in this random little kitchen vlog. I normally have a brew, but I just didn't fancy one. Hubby's in there playing a game. Fair daughter's outside. We're going to have a lovely evening, and we're live Sunday afternoon. I think I'm going to be making more horse sauces, which are Canary Islands. I think that's like where they originate and where they're beautiful anyway. Red and green. Oof, gorgeous sauces. Have I done a false ending? Maybe that was one. Thank you so much for watching. Hope that you've been enlightened by this, and if you have to make huge lifestyle changes yourself to save your life, please do it, because you're worth it. I'm worth it, so I did it, and I'll make more. You know, once you kind of reach your 40s, your 50s, 55 now, hello. once you reach your 40s, your 50s, we are not as strong and what's the word? Indestructible as we once thought we once were. We never really were, but you know, yeah. So I will leave it there. Hopefully you found some inspiration in here, or maybe you just found it interesting. But I will speak to you again very soon, and until then, please be excellent to yourselves and each other. Bye, loves.